SlimFold developed the pre-finished steel bifold over 75 years ago and has become the leader in the industry. They install easily with everything you need in one package. Before you begin, be sure you are wearing appropriate safety PPE for your job site. You will need the following tools: power drill or screw gun with 3/16" bit, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, tape measure, plumb bob, and level. First, we will remove the steel bifold from packing material. Carefully open the package and remove the track packed inside. Locate the hardware bag containing the following components: 3 number 10 by 32 mm pan screws, 3 number 10 by 19 mm pan screws, round self-adhesive plastic mutes, bumper, pull handles with 6 mm screws, 3 spring rods, 1 screw adjustment rod, and 1 rod locking insert. The installation of the track will vary some due to the flooring surface and if the cased opening is a wood or metal framed opening. If the floor is concrete, you will need a drill with a masonry drill bit, plastic sleeves to lock the screws into place, a screwdriver, small hammer, and a tape measure. Also, if the cased opening is metal, you may need to have a metal or wood reinforcement inside the header to provide more holding power for the screws. We also recommend a wood shim under the bottom track if carpet is going to be installed later. We don't recommend installing the track on top of carpet. The top and bottom track are identical, so can be used interchangeably. The first step in preparing the opening is to set the top track. To install the bifold so that the face of the bifold comes out flush with face of the frame, you need to measure in 5/8 inch from the face of the frame and draw a line at each end of the header. Take the track you intend to install as the upper track and center it up between the uprights with the edge of the track aligned with the 2 marks we made earlier. Then take a pencil and transfer a mark from the center of the slots on the track to the header you are mounting the track to. These marks are the ones we will use to drill for the track mounting screw installation. Once you have these holes drilled, secure the track to the header using 3 number 10 by 32 mm pan head screws provided in the hardware bag. The next step is setting and aligning the bottom track. We recommend using a plumb bob for this. Simply attach a plumb bob to a length of line and attach to a reference point in the top socket. The end of the plumb bob should be at a height of about 1 inch off the floor. This should allow you to insert the bottom track underneath it and align the reference point of the bottom track to the reference point of the top track. Once you have the track aligned, transfer a mark indicating the center of the slot on the track to the floor. Now repeat this step to locate the screw holes on the other end of the track. Take your drill and pre-drill a hole for the track screws in the floor. As we have mentioned before, this may vary some due to the type of floor you are installing the track in. Insert the bottom track in the opening and secure it with the screws. For a wood floor application, secure the bottom track with a number 10 by 19 mm pan head screw. For a concrete floor application, secure the bottom track with a number 10 by 19 mm pan head screw and number 10 by 19 plastic or metal anchors. Now, let's begin our assembly and installation of our SlimFold steel bifold. Locate the threaded pivot rod of the lower jamb corner bifold using the second hole from the edge of the panel and insert it partially in the hat. Place the screw rod clamp in the second square hole aligned with the screw rod and loosen the clamping screw and insert the pivot rod through the rod clamp and tap the clamp on the rod into position until it snaps into the hat. With the screw still loose in the clamp, use the slot in the end of the rod to screw the pivot rod downward until the nylon brushing is about 1/4 inch below the bifold panel. Then, tighten the rod clam screw on the rod to lock it into position. The top spring rod on the pivot side should be inserted in the second hole that aligns with the pivot rod at the bottom of the bifold. The other 2 spring rods should be installed using the outer holes on the opposite panel. If this is a 4-panel opening, just repeat these steps in the other panel. Now, we will install the steel bifolds in the opening. Place each panel into the opening and insert the lower threaded pivot into the bottom track socket. Center the upper spring rod under the track socket. Push the rod to release it. Repeat this process for the remainder of the spring rods, ensuring the pin is aligned over track before releasing. Install the BiFold handles at this time. See installation instructions or website for location and size of hole. Drill the hole with a metal drill bit. Now, we will adjust the BiFold to the opening. With the BiFold in the closed position, inspect the alignment of the BiFold panels with the closet opening and top track. The tops of the panels must be parallel with the top track. This is easily accomplished by adjusting the threaded pivot rod up or down. If necessary, adjust the track sockets to obtain 1/8 inch vertical clearance between the panels at the center when the BiFold are in the closed position. Check and tighten all screws. Next, install the plastic mutes. The round self-adhesive mutes go on the folded edge between the hinged panels and may be moved up, down, in or out until the steel BiFolds close flush. Now, we will adjust the track bumper. The track bumpers are stop centering and are pre-installed in the upper and lower tracks. Track bumpers may be trimmed to allow BiFolds to close completely. Do not over-trim. The bumpers must be long enough to create tension against the pivot spring rods. Your SlimFold steel BiFolds are installed and ready to use.